Welcome back out to one of our standout student interviews. Caleb Bergraff joined here with Karis Mayton, who's a junior at Buena Vista High School. And Karis, junior year, I've heard that's always the toughest year in high school. Have you seen it match up with that?
Definitely. It's definitely much more stressful, but I'm having more fun than the other year, so I guess that's good.
When you're having fun, a lot of that goes to the classes you're taking. You listed off like 3 or 4 to me when I asked you what your favorite classes were, but what are some of the ones that you really enjoy sitting down in?
I really like Spanish, forensics, and AP World History.
What draws you to those classes in particular that the teachers or the subject allows you to do?
There are a lot of hands-on activities. In Spanish, it's like a discussion class almost, so you're just constantly doing something. It's not a lecture, you're not reading, you don't just have to sit still, like you can kind of move around a little bit, which is always nice.
You also tossed out some classes that are very broad in what you can do. Language is a little bit more tight, but what draws you to languages as a class and as a subject? Do you like just being able to learn something new and be able to communicate with other people?
Yeah, I really like to travel, and so I've always wanted to go to South America, so I feel like Spanish would be good, and I want to live in Texas later, so just having that language background helps a lot, and it's really fun. Like, I really enjoy it, so.
That travel idea kind of ties to world history too, I'm assuming, because you get to learn about some places you want to go.
Yeah, it's really cool because right now we're learning about Asia and different types of empires and all that, and so you just kind of like everything ties together from what you've learned in past years, and even like Spanish and Spain, like this all ties in and you're like, but yeah.
If you could choose a time period to go really like focus in on or take a time machine back to, where would you want to go back to the most?
Oh gosh, I really like the Old West. I don't know. I've probably watched too much Little House on the Prairie with my mom before, but it's just kind of, I don't know. It seems just get a different perspective on life because that was such a hard time, and here we have it really easy. So
when you live around the place where it all took place too, and that makes it pretty interesting as well. Let's go back to teaching though, and what do you look for in a teacher? You've been through school now for 11 years or going into 11 years. What makes a good teacher for you?
Definitely a sense of humor, or being willing to have a joke here or there. When you laugh, you enjoy the class more, but also the willingness to help you through their work or tests or anything. When they want you to actually know the subject and not just say what you memorized, it helps you feel like you're actually learning.
Are any teachers here at the school that match that image or match that type of teaching style?
Mr. Revis for one, but I feel like all of them do. Like, they all have their different styles of helping and all that, which is good, but Mr. Revis is probably my favorite.
You're pretty active here in the school and a lot of stuff beyond just the mountain biking club, which you guys are heading to state. First of all, congratulations on that. Basketball, and also you play soccer for the school. But what do you learn from sports outside of the sport itself? Any lessons that you take away with you each night?
I learned that communication is definitely key. Even with mountain biking, even though it's more individual, you have to be able to communicate with your team on, like, hey, I don't know how to get over this rock kind of deal. But it also helps you later in life to where you're like, I need to ask for help, or just to make sure, like, set a date, make sure something's good, like an interview or something. So, I mean, it just kind of helps all throughout, but also helps you learn to be social.
So you're saying don't come around the corner and surprise somebody with an interview?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's take a look outside of school into the future for you really quick. What's next for you in the senior year and beyond? Have you given any thought to that, or are you kind of living in the moment a bit?
I mean, I guess I'm doing both. I think about it probably more at night, but I just kind of, I don't know. I just live in the moment in school, and then I think about it later and kind of just go from there. Like, I know kind of what I want to do. I may want to go into psychology, but I'm not for sure on that, so we'll just see what happens.
It's good to kind of live life with the flow as your junior year, because you do change so much, and through high school you've changed a lot, I'm sure. If you could go back and talk to your freshman self, what would you tell yourself to make things easier, or maybe be able to fit in a bit quicker?
Probably study. That's for one. Get in the study habit now, because otherwise it'll be hard to junior year and you have a big test coming up. Or just learning that it's okay if people don't like you. That's a big one, is just who cares if someone doesn't like what you're wearing that day. Like, that's definitely a big thing.
going to the things that you do like, what do you like about Buena Vista in this area and just growing up here?
I definitely like the smallness of it. I've always grown up in a small town, so when we moved here, it seemed more like home. It wasn't super vast like a city, but you just kind of, you see people that you don't, that you see every day, and you can talk to them, or if you haven't seen them in a while, you can catch up. It's not like a, hey, I need to meet with you kind of deal. It's not, you can just kind of, you don't even have to meet some, like call it and make a schedule kind of deal. So, yeah.
Karis, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. Good luck at state with mountain biking, and hopefully your junior year continues to go on as smoothly as it has.
Yeah. Thank you so much.